with all the Victor Wembanyama craze that's been going around the league, most people have seemed to have forgotten that a man by the name of Chet Holmgren actually existed. Will he be someone to challenge Victor for a rookie of the season? I think so. Let's get into it right now. Man, listen, if you're new to the channel, this is the P.kidd Talks NBA. I appreciate all the new subs that we have. We had over 300 subs within the last 20 days, so I appreciate you all. Let's get back into the topic. Right now, we've all seen all the crave about Victor Wembanyama. He's been marketed as the next big thing since LeBron. He's been marketed as instant Rookie of the Year, MVP candidate. People have even said that he's going to win a championship and have a better legacy than Tim Duncan already. In fact, there was a literal analyst, famous and formerly, that said that if Victor Wembanyama was Tim Duncan, he failed. What? Like, I don't get why they put that much pressure on a young guy, especially when he hasn't even touched the floor yet. Like, let him get into an NBA game. But all that being said, people have just forgotten that Chet Holmgren at 7'1", who's now over 200 pounds, looking a little solid, had a nice offensive game, even freaking existed. And to me, that's worrisome, because now two things are about to happen. One, I think that they're going to be, now that he's going to be able to be back on the floor. Mind you, he was injured. For those who didn't know, he missed his rookie season due to injury. He got injured playing at the, I think it was at the Drew. It may not be. I think it was at the Drew League. That being the case, he missed his whole rookie season. Foot injury. Okay, happens. Sucks, right? We've been here before. We've seen the people who've missed their first season and had to. Blake Griffin comes to mind when I think of that. But at the end of the day, like, let's be honest. He was highly touted, highly skilled, and could fill up the stat sheet. And no one really talked about him in that whole mist. In fact, he was an afterthought, especially with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doing what he was doing and stuff like that. And I know people are worried about how those two would mix, but I'm like, I think they'll work out just fine, right? I think Chet was going to be just fine. And so that's what makes me bring this topic up. Like, will Chet or Victor Wembanyama win MVP? And the funny thing I say is this. I think both of those will have a very similar production their first season out. Now, I do feel like, because I don't feel as if the Spurs have the same level of star available on their roster like SGA. I think SGA was on a tear. You don't bring the reels in on that one, so I think that's going to limit some of his shots. But one of the things that Summer League has actually shown me about Chet is the one thing that most people just overlook, even with Victor Wembanyama: defense. Chet had 4 blocks, and those 4 blocks didn't look like he contested stuff that some centers would have got boomed on, like by some good, fun, really athletic guards. And I'm happy that he was actually willing to be there and had the mental fortitude to even contest those particular shots. If you look at some of those blocks, some of those blocks that he got would have been plays that others, even pros, would have been like, all right, he got that one, and we just march down, right? And no one would have been the wise. It's like, hey, you make a business decision at a certain point, because if you get dunked on if you get dunked on nasty in summer league, your first, while you trying to make your way back, that could be disastrous for your career. I mean, the highlight clips that come from that is just ridiculous, right? But at the end of the day, he challenged them, and he actually won those matchups handily. Those were some nasty blocks. And so, along with the fact that he didn't look rushed, put up about 18 points, was playing within the flow of the game, but the fact that he was actually out there, I mean, footwork too. I gotta jump in and mention footwork was crazy. So his footwork was good, played within the flow of the game, didn't feel like he was rushing everything. Easy money, like very easy money. That's KD for those who don't know, like very KD-esque in some of those shots and stuff that he was taking and the footwork that he had. I really like his offensive game, but I've always been a fan. And so I maybe there's a little bias there, but like, again, he looked really good. But the defense, I think, is going to help him stay on the floor. And as long as he's on the floor, he's going to have a chance to put up some numbers. I think this is going to come down to one thing. One, I do feel as if the hype for Victor Wembanyama is a little overblown. I'm not saying that he's not going to be good, but I'm saying it may take some time. Because despite everyone else he's compared to, the man's almost a foot taller than the people that we've compared him to. He's almost a foot taller than LeBron. I want people to understand that. LeBron is like 6'8". Victor is 7'5". What? Like, it's, whoa. Like, I get it, right? But he needs to put some weight on, stuff like that. So all I'm saying is this. don't be surprised if Chet Holmgren not only challenges him for Rookie of the Year, but wins it. Now, politics may come into play with this, because if you really look at it, and this is something that's been recently brought up, I look at Carmelo Anthony and LeBron. Carmelo had a better rookie season. They had very similar numbers, but one got their team to the playoffs, one didn't for the first 2 years in their career. That was Carmelo. But Carmelo didn't win Rookie of the Year. They didn't even give Cole Rookie of the Year. In this situation, maybe some politics get involved, but I feel like as if Chet Holmgren puts up similar numbers with another star next to him, while Victor pretty much has the green light, and it seems like they're going to really give him the green light, I think that you should really give him the nod. But that's just my thoughts, right? I'm a fan of both. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like that there should be appropriate expectations, and the expectations on Victor are just astronomical. It's just like, yo, chill. Let that boy grow into his role. Let him do something first. Nah, that's not the type of time the world is on right now. And then they're looking at Chet Holmgren like, oh, he's gonna be all right. It's like, nah, Chet really got an offensive bag out there though. Like he really can get busy. He really is a pretty good player. Like this is gonna be a lot closer than you think. But those are my thoughts, man. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts on whether or not Victor is a lock for Rookie of the Year. I know this is a little early. This is off-season speculation, kind of barbershop talkish. But at the end of the day, this is what we got, and this is what the narratives are. The narratives about these players' careers are starting now, which is crazy to me. Mind you, if you're going to be following me, if you followed me from the Windy City Breeze, you know I'm not real big on starting early narratives. In fact, I actually try to guard against that. Anytime you see me speak, I'm really just trying to keep up with the fact that we got to create the content. But at the end of the day, I want to be realistic. These players both are young. There's going to be some shifts. Their opportunity is going to look a little different. But there is a good opportunity and a good chance that Chet comes out there and is better than people are giving him credit for and challenges Victor Wembanyama for the Rookie of the Year. If I had to make a definitive decision, I'm not. I'm not. I'm gonna wait until the midseason to actually do this. I actually suggest you all do the same, just out of respect for both of those players' games and allowing them to mature. Now I know we're both probably never meet some of these players. We're actually I know that we probably won't actually be buddy with a lot of these players. I'm not gonna say we won't meet them, but at the end of the day, like, let's just keep it into perspective. There's a lot of narratives that get shaped early on, and I just want us to have set proper expectations. The one thing I will say is I do get OKC having a better record than the Spurs. So you take that for what you will. The OKC has a better record than the Spurs, and Chet is a major factor in that, then you already know where I'm leaning. But let me know where you are. Whether it's left, whether it's right, put in the comments. I'll be in there with you. Till next time. Peace.